Thank you for tuning in to the Stories That Bind Us. We host open and honest conversations about personal experiences which can include sensitive topics such as identity, emotional struggles, mental health, and life challenges. Some of these discussions may be sensitive or difficult for certain viewers. This content is intended to encourage reflection, growth, and meaningful dialogue. So instead of cutting or censoring our episodes, we present them in their entirety. Thank you for being here and engaging with these important conversations. Viewer discretion is advised.
So, welcome to the Stories That Bind Us. Today I am sitting down with my friend Katrina, and we're going to talk about some of the things that make her story unique and the opportunity to just have a conversation instead of it being on the fly when we're working or we've got things we're doing that keep us busy. This is just an opportunity to sit down, hang out, talk about what you've learned in life, the things that have inspired you, the things that might inspire others, things that are encouraging, and any wisdom that you want to pass on that you've been afforded the luxury of learning yourself. So just good stuff. Just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out.
So I want to talk more about your story. I know a little bit, but we can jump in wherever you want, whatever you think would be interesting to talk about and you would think might connect with others and help them going through struggles they've maybe going through and just help encourage others, you know?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Should we go from the beginning?
Well, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Can't go any further back than that. So
yeah.
We might as well start there.
Well, I was brought up in a very nice, really loving home, or so I thought.
So you
and it was really good while it lasted. And then I remember my dad committed suicide when I was 3. And then so that took a really rough toll on my family. And then after that, I would say I got taken away from my biological family, and then we got placed with my aunt and my uncle, and then we lived with them. And I feel like that really took a toll on me because it was really hard to adjust again, all over again. And then I went from there and then to my grandma's. And I mean, I was really grateful to have somewhere to live. We were in the foster care system for a really long time, and it wasn't really fun, but I learned so much, and I'm so grateful that I had someone there for me. My grandma is my everything. I love her forever. But after my dad committed suicide, my biological mom fled because it was drugs that it was all surrounded with. And I believe he committed suicide because of my biological mom got him into drugs. And he just was unhappy. And he was the sweetest guy in the whole world. He only cared about everyone else, not himself. And it really showed. But I think that where I am now, I don't take that lightly. And I feel like all of this has made me who I am. But dealing with that, I feel like it was this whole drag path. It felt like it until I had my brother with me. And he made everything better. But
younger, older?
Older.
Your older brother?
Yeah, my older brother.
So were you both separated when they removed you from your house?
Yeah.
So they placed you in different placements?
Yes. Yeah.
How long did that last?
A few years. I would say 3 years. Yeah. And it was really hard. But being reunited with him was something I'll never forget.
So where were you at when you were reunited? Where did that take place? Was it with your aunt and uncle or somewhere else?
It took place at my grandma's.
At your grandma's?
Yes. So we got reunited at my grandma's. I don't know where he was living. I have no idea, but I remember he told me that he was just jumping house to house, no idea, but whenever we reunited, it was amazing. And then we lived with my grandma until we both graduated high school and moved out, and he's doing great now, and so am I, but it was not good. But it was really nice being reunited with him.
So how old were you when you were reunited?
I was 15. Yeah, 15.
So a lot of time had passed.
Yes, a lot of time. Yes.
Yeah.
And he was my best friend. He is my best friend, but not having him there for like my core years of, puberty and needing, someone, and he just wasn't there.
Yeah. And not having your parents.
Yeah.
Or your brother who was your best friend.
Yeah.
So how hard was that going through? Because, I mean, that's a massive trauma and challenge. And then you're now in foster care. No brother.
No
by yourself.
family.
You're placed by yourself.
Yeah.
So how do you go through life growing up as a young woman? You don't have your mom. You're in these, whoever's house you're in that environment. No brother. And then is it like a group home or is it just a family, a foster family?
It was a foster family. It was completely different than what I had imagined. I mean, you never really imagine foster homes, but that was something else. I feel like, like my brother being separated from me and me having to grow up alone, it felt like, especially with no mom, I feel like every young girl needs her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I never had that, ever. But I feel like growing up and hitting puberty and doing all that, I found myself looking for a mother figure, a maternal figure through everybody else. And then a fatherly figure through everybody else. And the foster homes didn't do that for me. They were awful. And I think that you can consciously make your own decisions in that moment. And you could think, well, do I want to be this victim? And I didn't really want to be a victim. And so I immediately had to tell my brother everything that was going on. And some strings got pulled and I finally got to live with him. And it was really hard just having nobody. It was really hard. But I feel like the people around you, and if you have enough support around you outside of family too, it helps out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And school was rough. It was going from school to school. It was awful. It was everybody knowing things and talking. And it was rough, but I got through it. It was nice.
Yeah, kids can be mean.
Yes.
Well, people can be mean, but especially kids, because they don't a lot of times have good guidance at home.
Yeah, I agree.
And so they say mean things.
Yes.
So you get reunited with your brother. Was your grandma in the picture at all during the time you were in foster care?
Yes, she was the one who was fighting for us the entire time. It was really hard. My birth mom would not show up to court, so all of her rights got taken away after that. She had so many chances. And then finally, while we were settling through, my grandma was able to adopt us through and through. And then from there, it was really nice. It was really nice, but a lot of stuff also happened at my grandma's house. And I don't resent her or anything, but a lot has happened at her house. And even then going back there now, I get very uncomfortable because a lot of stuff has happened there that nobody knows about.
All the secrets of grandma's house?
Yes, the secrets at grandma's house. But I remember telling my brother everything that went on there, and he freaked out. And that's when I knew that he was my best friend. He protected me from then on. Yeah. And everything that I told him after.
So the challenges that you faced at that time were different challenges because now you're at your grandma's house.
Yes,
so not in foster care, where that's just the system. So you hope you get a good placement, what have you. But when you're with your family, you put your guard down thinking you can trust and everything's going to be okay because you're safe.
Yeah.
But you weren't.
No.
No.
No. Not at all.
And so what happened at your grandma's house, as far as things that you're comfortable sharing with? What helped you kind of grow and become who you've become?
I remember my grandma and my grandpa had separated. So it was just my grandma at home. And my grandma thought I would still have to go visit my grandfather and, see how he's doing and stuff. But I just didn't really, I'm young. I'm just like, okay, yeah, like, let's go see. And so he was living at a separate house, and I would go over and hang out with him. And then I'd come back, and I was different. It was completely different. A lot of stuff happened at my grandpa's. And then after that stuff had happened, they had gotten back together, and my grandma got back with him. Nobody knew at the time what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only person I told was my brother, 2 years later. And they always wondered why I was so cold towards him, so distant. It's like walking on eggshells in your own house. He's back, and I thought I was safe. I wasn't at all. I wanted to get out of there as soon as I could. I was always in my room, boarded up. I felt like I wasn't safe to get out. And then finally, we ended up telling my grandma together. She cried. We all cried. It was probably the worst thing, that I had to tell her, and it was hard, but to this day, they're still not separated. So, but it's fine. I mean, I feel like throughout life, I'm comfortable with it because I've healed myself from it a lot. So I'm comfortable talking about it 100%.
So your grandparents were back together and they stayed together?
Yes.
Even though things happened that shouldn't have?
Yes.
And she found out, and he knew, and did he admit it, or did he?
He didn't.
Didn't. Well, that's always the way it works, but.
Yeah.
So he didn't, so it was your word against his, and they stay together for whatever reason.
Yes. My grandma believes me. She, it was a whole bunch of yelling and crying in the hallway. My brother was defending me. I was defending me. And she was just saying, well, that's just what happens. And I was like, well, that's not what happens, And she's like, well, it happened to me. And I was like, that's the problem. It's generational. It's everybody. It's like, it's not okay just because it happened to you.
Right. It's passed on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about healing, going through that process. What does that look like? What does that look like to go through healing? And those are deep wounds, by the way.
Yeah.
And I recognize that. So I'm trying to be sensitive to where you're at.
Yeah.
And what you have to, kind of work through, and where your thoughts are. So what's the healing process look like?
Oh my gosh. There's always going to be that thought there. Like, you'll never forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with, like, how many times it's happened. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's why we have tissue, remember?
Yes. Well, it took a lot of time, and I'm still not fully recovered. I mean, you don't really recover from that, but it took a lot of time, a lot of scariness being around men, and watching stuff with any triggers, and always being triggered by something to do with anything like that. I think that being assaulted from such a young age, your skin becomes so tough, and you have to pull yourself together because nobody's going to come save you. It's just you, and you feel so alone. But the only thing that helped me was talking to someone like my brother, because after that conversation, suddenly it's just quiet in the house. Nobody brings it up. It's just silence anytime he's around. And I didn't know how to respond to that. So I immediately just tried to heal my inner child. I want to put her back together in pieces, and I want to let her know that, she's okay, and this is something that we can get through and that we don't ever want to happen again. And we can do that by protecting all of the young children in our lives and taking care of everybody around us, because you can't trust anybody. And I think having someone to talk to and growing up and having a really great partner has helped me heal tremendously. He let me, both of them, my brother and my husband, have let me talk about it as much as I want. They skip scenes that show any kind of assault or any kind of beatings. And they always let me know beforehand. Like, if we go watch a movie, they try not to bring it up. they never talk about anything to do with that. And that's what made me heal. I'm not saying that they have to walk on eggshells around me, but they have helped me heal so much.
That they're being sensitive
Yes.
to where you're at.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes. And they were right there next to me the whole time, both of them. And I feel like I'm so comfortably healed now, but there's always that memory and any kind of trigger, and you just think about it and you're like, no, you can't go back into that dark place again because you don't know what happened. It's so hard to make of what happened whenever you're so young, over and over and over, and you're just like, it was an accident. I mean, he didn't mean it, or, you know, but you just can't find yourself making excuses for these really bad people, you know?
Yeah, agreed. Doesn't matter who it is.
No.
It doesn't matter if they're a relative or not, because that doesn't excuse bad behavior.
No.
And
not at
hurting
all.
someone.
Exactly.
So that's good you've accepted that, but it's also important that you're able to walk through the healing process and reframing it in a way that you can kind of live with.
Yes.
And accept.
Yes.
But not make excuses or accept the bad behavior.
No, I don't accept the bad
Just
behavior.
accept the past as the past.
Yes, I agree.
And you won't relive it. You get to choose now going forward.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
good call.
making my own decisions has helped me so much. And I feel like rebelling against his or anyone else's has also helped me so much. Because it feels like I'm making my own decision. And it helps me think I can control my own self. I can control my body. I can control my thoughts. And I won't have something lingering over me that is just going to consciously control those thoughts or feelings.
So if you were at work or wherever, any place you picture yourself, and you see someone that you feel like maybe is going through something you've went through, how would you encourage them to go get help?
Oh.
Any idea like what you would say if you just saw that they needed help? Is there anything you would just share to say, me try to encourage you by what? What would you tell them to do?
I would say to speak up. That's what's wrong. A lot of people don't speak up, and I know how hard it is. But you are going to be stuck there, and I would want them to be safe. I would want to make them feel safe, and I would want to hold them and cry with them and go through all of this together. But I would want them to speak up and know that you are not alone, and that there is always someone that you can talk to. And you're never alone. You are in control of yourself. No matter how many times someone has hurt you, no matter how much you've been through, at the end of the day, it's your life, your mind, and your body. And no one can take that away from you, and you can't let it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, you're reassuring that they are strong.
Yes.
And even when they feel like they're powerless or weak, they still have choices.
Yes.
And there is hope.
Yes.
And there's help.
Yes.
It's just not staying in the same situation.
Yes.
Which can be hard if you feel trapped, especially if it is a family member or someone that has, control, like in a lot of relationships.
Yes.
Someone's more dominant.
Yes.
But it's important to not stay in that situation, because they usually don't go well. It continues until someone breaks the cycle.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of bravery to break the cycle.
It does.
So I commend you on being brave, especially when you had to share with your brother and then ultimately your grandmother, and hold your grandfather accountable, and at least bring it out into the light and bring the truth out.
Yes.
And it's sad that your grandma didn't do that as well, or if she did, it wasn't ever resolved.
No. Yeah.
Because she just carried it around and just kind of brushed under the rug what you said.
Yeah, it feels very dismissive.
Very dismissive. Didn't validate you and didn't call bad behavior bad behavior, and then protect you.
Yes. I think that in the moment we did butt heads a lot, and I was the teenager coming to her at the time. I just kept that secret for so long, and I was so tired of it. Like, why are you guys so cold and all of this? But I felt very neglected in that moment, only because it took so much courage to come out about that, and then just for it to be swept under the rug. I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I kept this for like 10 years. That's it? But I do understand. I mean, I do, but I don't. I understand why. I understand, like, you have bills, you're married, and you have all of this. And I understand the grown-up stuff about it, of course. But you could still make me feel heard and seen.
And safe.
Yes, and safe.
Yeah.
And I think that now she tries her very best. And she does resonate with me a lot now that I'm older and moved out. And she pulls me to the side anytime I go over. Because I don't like feeling uncomfortable around there, but I always am.
Mm-hmm.
But she always pulls me to the side if she wants to speak to me and stuff. And she knows that, like, when I walk through her front door, it's just, we have to be careful. So she takes me to the room, we talk and everything, and that's how she makes me feel safe. And I understand that's her trying her best, and I'll take it. I'll accept it because I moved out and I moved on. And I don't have to put up with trying to please someone who's hurt me. I mean, I can forgive, but I won't forget.
Yeah. Well, it's a different story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that growing up and realizing how far you could come from something, I don't know. I really thought I was going to die at 18. I thought I wouldn't make it past 18. I never thought about my future. I just really thought this was something that would have taken me for a toll, you know? And not only that, but all of the child abuse and the child neglect and the moving and the assaults, and it was just a lot for me. And then I do remember that was a really hard time for me as well, because I was given a drug because I had fractured my pinky. And so I was given a tramadol, and then by my aunt and uncle, and then I ended up in the ER, got taken away from them, placed with my grandma, and that's how I visited my grandpa, and that's how it all went downhill. All because who gives an 11-year-old a drug like that, though? That's not. You give me Tylenol. I was crying about my pain. And if none of that would have happened, I probably wouldn't have had to go to my grandpa's or anything like that. But being taken away from CPS because of that was also really bad. You think that you can trust, the people who adopted you, fought for you in court, and no. They're like, here, it's Tylenol. No, it wasn't. And so I was out for a really long time. It was really embarrassing. Having to go back to school after that was really embarrassing. And I was in the ER for about a week. They had to pump me full of fluid and all of that stuff and get it out of my system. And then they took us away, placed us with our grandmother as well at that time. And then that's whenever I had to go visit my grandfather, and I feel like it was like this domino effect, but I also feel like it shouldn't have happened, of course, but I think that I've come a very, very far, like very, very far away from all of that. I left it behind, I swept it, I cleansed my everything, so I'm super grateful that I do have the people that I have now around me to help me through my problems with that. But I would say if you can't afford therapy, please talk to someone. That's the only thing that saved me.
Having safe people
Yeah.
to go through it with you and make sure you're good, get you out of it.
Yes, yeah.
So what's been most instrumental? I know the people that have come alongside of you've mentioned, and you keep bringing that up. Have you been able to get professional help with therapy or things of that nature?
No, I haven't. I find that it's very hard to afford, especially like without insurance and stuff. And I come from a family who doesn't believe in therapy, which is awful, but that's the way that a lot of older people, and it's just their beliefs, and I understand that. No, like older, like
people that are wanting to keep secrets don't
yes.
like therapy.
No, yes,
By the way,
I agree.
So old or young people that don't want to get their secrets out,
Yes.
don't like to go to therapy.
Yes.
That's why I was snickering.
Yes.
It wasn't
I
because
agree.
of an age thing.
No, I know.
But that
it's
generation.
just such a Western thing, though,
Yes.
to not go to therapy. And I'm just like, it's not really traditional. Like, why?
Yeah. Well, in generations ago, that's it. It was you're crazy if you have to go talk to a shrink.
Yeah, like you're
that was the
psycho.
whole mentality.
Yes.
Instead of going to counseling and getting therapy and learning about how to improve your mental health, it was always in your head and you're weak and
you feel
had
weak
a negative
and
stigmatism.
yes.
So it's not the way it is in society, but there are people that don't want the truth to come out, and they'd rather use it as a tool or a weapon against you.
Yeah.
Because you can exert a bit of control over people that you can dominate by shaming and different things of that nature.
Yes.
Or scaring,
yes,
if you will. So things like that. But it's good that you recognize that and you would refer other folks to get that help and seek safety through being able to share their story.
Yes. There's no shame in seeking therapy ever. I don't know who ever made it seem that way, but it's not. It's, if anything, you're taking your power back. And it does feel so amazing getting to be able to just shame that person and all of those people. It does feel really great. And like, you're taking your power back, you know. A lot of people don't like that. You're right. A lot of the bad people, they don't like that. Mm-hmm. And whenever you're a victim, it's very difficult to stay a victim because you also don't want to feel weak and, you know, knocked down. But you only will for a little while. And then I feel like a lot of people need therapy. A lot of people. And it's really good to go get it and get help.
Agreed.
There's always people to talk to, yes, but a professional would probably be best.
Yeah, with things of that level.
Yes.
It's a little different.
Yes, I agree. I mean, a lot of people, especially younger and older, a lot of people find it hard to talk to people about deep things that's happened to them, very traumatic, very triggering. Mm-hmm. But I find myself just now, that I'm fine. I'm okay with speaking about it because it's me taking back my power, and I feel better speaking about it.
Well, you're strong and you're capable, and it's amazing that you've learned that, and you've broken the cycle that seems to have gone on in your family.
Yes.
So talk about the situation now, because you've overcome a lot, but you still have a lot of things going on. Like you said, you alluded to your grandparents are still together. You still have family members that have caused you grief and pain, and they're still in your life to some degree. And your mom, right?
I agree, yes. I remember the very first thing my brother told me when I had thought about moving out with my now husband. She told him I would never show up again. I would never be back again. And that she was so scared of me never showing up to that house again that she had this whole separate conversation with my brother. And, you know, I laughed because I thought it was amusing. I'm like, okay, well, you didn't really do anything to help me there, but it was really nice and amusing at the time. But now that I'm older, I understand why she was so worried, but you didn't do anything to help me then, of course. But I do go back. I try not to go back a lot, though. It's very hard, though, you know, stepping foot into a house that's so awful and you thought was safe. Mm-hmm. It's so hard stepping foot in there, and I just feel like this negative energy the second I step foot on that lawn. And I feel like that will never go away. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. I mean, I only do it to see my grandmother, and that's it. But yes, they are still together. I believe it's due with, you know, they have a mortgage together. They have all of this together, and I understand down to the finances, and I have to overcome my feelings and stuff like that. But that's why I believe that they stayed together. Otherwise, I don't think that they would have. And then my mom, she is gone. I see her Christmas, maybe Thanksgiving. She was my everything. I idolized her growing up. And then, it was also great. We had a lovely home. They both worked. And then suddenly, you give a kid tramadol. I mean, you're going to get taken away. And then from then on, they had the rest of their kids taken away. So all my other siblings, they didn't show up to court, of course. So this is my adoptive mother, which is my biological aunt that I'm speaking about. My biological mom, I haven't seen her since I was maybe 3, 4. I have no idea. I hope to never see her. I don't think I will whenever she passes. I don't think I will go. I just don't want anything to do with that. I do stalk her. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but I do stalk her. I think that's a very normal response, though. I think it's very normal.
Sure.
I stalk her and I see what she's up to, and come to find out my biological mom has kids that she also loves to take care of, apparently. Isn't that something? Wow.
It's something.
Whenever I found that out, I was so shocked. I had to go run and tell my brother, and it took us down for this whole whirlwind, and I was just like, oh, I can't believe this. Like, can you believe someone getting their kids taken away and then adopting some other guy's kids and taking care of them and posting them and stuff like this and loving on them? I don't know. Like, seeing those for the first time, I was just in disbelief. But now I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I'm not a part of her life. My mom, my aunt technically, but my mom, I love her, I always will, but I mean, I had a great childhood with them, my aunt and my uncle, but it comes to a point where you keep messing up and you don't show up to work.
Right.
And then you get your house taken away, you get your kids taken away. You were doing so well, you're up here, and then now you're just kicked all the way down here. We have supported you. We've supported both of them, me and my siblings, my whole life. We've always had faith in them. And same thing, all excuses. Why haven't you guys bought a house? What have you guys been doing? And, you check in on them. They're always scattered. They're always drinking, always saying that they're working. No. But I see her during the holidays. That's enough for me. So that's enough seeing her. Seeing my dad, though, he has a special place in my heart as well. He's diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but having a dad that's diagnosed with bipolar disorder was not easy. You're so cold one second, but then you're so loving the next. And, I mean, it wasn't fun. And then having an alcoholic mother, also not fun. But it would be, during fights and arguments with them, they would take it out on the kids, and it was really hard for all of us. She would take it out on us. Anytime that she would drink, she'd pick, it's like eeny, meeny, and then she chooses you. And 1 second, you're just getting beaten, and the next she's apologizing, saying that she's so sorry, and you understand how that confuses a little kid. You're not sorry, and you're like, oh, I believe you. It's fine, Mom. No, it's not fine. And I think seeing her at holidays and stuff, she knows, because anytime that she sees us, she just wants to cry and say that she's sorry for her whole childhood. I'm like, I'm done. Like, you're fine. It's fine. It made me who I am today. I guess that's what I could say. But alcoholism, drugs, all of that, I think a lot of people need help for, but they could also have these issues from their family. It's all generational trauma. She got beat by her dad. So what is she going to do whenever she drinks? Beat us. That's where it ends. Here. With our line of my siblings and us, we vowed we would never, if we ever have kids, we would never. You don't do that. We've all got the help that we needed, whether it's through therapy or talking to someone or finding the right partners. We all know that we will not be anything like them, and that motivates me in life. I do not want to be anything like them. You break that it just comes down in this line, you break that generational curse and the trauma so fast. Because you realize, that that's not okay. You can't do that to your kids. You love them. It doesn't matter if you're angry at the world, you don't beat your kids. It's not okay. So then you end it. It ends with us. That's what it does. It ends with us. And my siblings, we've all said we would never do that. And they've all had the help that they needed to get through And I admire them all for that, and I look up to them. And I've also have grown from that.
It's amazing.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot to overcome. And you're giving good advice. If somebody's doing poor behaviors, or it doesn't matter if it's been passed on or not, if you're in a situation where you're either abusing substances or alcohol, or you have these things inside that have been passed on to you, as in abuse or neglect or things, it's just important to go get help.
Yes.
And find resources. And if you can't afford counseling, go to a pastor at a church,
Yes.
or find some kind of a support through getting help and acknowledging. There's a lot of support groups out there.
A lot. And a lot of communities that are free.
Resources.
Yes.
A lot of free ones.
Yes. Yes, church was very nice.
It's important not to just continue to replicate the cycle and continue to pass it on, and to find more things to regret.
Yes.
And like you said, break the cycle, and you can stop it at your generation, but the generation before you should take some responsibility and
agree.
stop it at their generation.
Yes.
And not continue.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why, but the past generations, they don't take any responsibility. They don't ever do any wrong. And a lot of, this generation, all of us, we all agree that we think a lot of our parents have wronged us, and people in our lives who have wronged us need to take responsibility. And then you just feel like it's hard because they don't take that responsibility. And then you just live your whole life because you're like, you know what, I'll be the bigger person.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hard to always be the bigger person.
Yes. But you do come a long way if you are the bigger person.
Yeah.
Instead of being stuck where you are.
It's worth it.
Yeah. It is.
So if you're, well, you said church, you mentioned church. Was that one of the things that helped you as you were kind of on your journey of getting healthy and safe and all that?
Yes. Not at first. No, it was not. But after, yes, it was. I looked for that in everything, any sign or anything. At first, my parents would use it also as a reason to abuse. If we didn't go to church, we'd get abused, or if we didn't read the scripture every night, we'd get abused. It was really bad. They wanted to be this really strict, uptight, religious family, and that just never really works. You have to let your kids do what they feel is right. You can't control your kids. I mean, you can, but to a certain extent. I think that pushing religion on my kids would not be okay. Sure. And I would let them choose what they want to do with what religion they want. And they didn't like that I was, Christian, and they wanted us to be Mormon so bad. So we got beat for it all the time. It was awful. But we don't have to read the chapters of the scripture every night before bed, after school, after our chores. And it's just, you don't abuse your kids just because they don't want to. But then after all of that, I healed that part of me. And I went to church with another family, and I found I was safe. And it wasn't the church that I hated. It was the people. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the church. It was what they did to make it seem like it was such a bad thing while they were trying to be so good at it. But now I look for it all the time in other people. And I could say that it's really good. It helps a lot. And going with another family who's in a different, religion or anything, it's anything that you want to do it, because church always helped me, but not whenever it was deemed as this negative thing, because, you're a kid, you think, oh my gosh, like I'm getting beat for not reading the scripture. Religion is bad now, going to church is bad. I don't ever want to associate myself with that, because I associated getting beat with church, and then I grew up and went with different families, and I loved it. It helped me so much.
And religion and faith are different things.
Yes.
Learning about God and knowing God is completely different.
Yes, yeah.
One's head knowledge and one's relational. So it's a different journey.
Yeah, it is. I feel like that's what it changed to. Yeah. I feel like it was just this forced religion, and then suddenly I'm free. I'm like, I break free, and it's all just faith. It's not this forced nature upon me.
You're right.
That was scary, but yes,
Sounds scary.
Faith now.
So, in order to kind of come to a place that we can close up today, but I want to continue the conversation in more than just a few minutes in a work environment. But it'd be nice if we can continue on your journey, if you're willing to share kind of as things progress and as life changes and what you learn.
Yes.
As you continue to grow.
Yes.
But what would you say if there's anything that, is there anything you didn't think of that you wanted to share, or things that we touched on or maybe should have that you just kind of wanted to expand on, or advice, wisdom you've learned you want to share? You always have good advice, and
yes,
you have so many things you've learned from that I know you let other people know. It seems like common sense, but
yes,
there's not a lot of common sense out there anymore.
No, I would say, man, it's just so much. And I understand how overwhelming it is for a lot of people, but I try to be the good that I want to find in others. That helped me so much. I can't imagine not having someone to turn to. And if you have nobody to turn to, I think you will find those people, and you will find somewhere where you feel safe. And I think it's so great to just be the good that you wish to see in others, because then you attract that goodness and you want to hold it close to you. And seeing, especially in this day and age now, seeing how a lot of kids are becoming more woke and waking up about what their parents have done and all the generational stuff, it will end, and you guys will be the one to end it. Yes. And if you don't want to be the one to end it and continue the cycle, you're just going to be just as bad. But I think that you have to be the good. And you want to look at someone and you want to be their good too. Don't you? You want to be there for others just as much as you want them to be there for you. You can't just go to someone whenever it's convenient for you. You also have to be there for them.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And I feel like that's our relationship too. I feel like whenever we talk, it's very nice and calming. And it feels very healing, especially whenever you have someone to talk to, and then they can also talk to you about their stuff, and learning about other people's struggles and the way that they live through life and experiences have helped me so much to look over the other side. Yeah. That's what I say.
We're supposed to learn from each other.
Yes.
And help each other grow and just go through.
Yes.
The good and the bad.
Yes, I agree.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's the point of it all, I feel like. To have each other.
Wise words.
Yes, thank you.
100%. And you just got to find your people. Right?
Yeah, you do. You do. You really do.
Because we don't all get along with everybody.
No.
We're not all everybody's cup of tea.
No.
So.
Be yourself. Do what you want to do. Be the good that you wish to see in others. Be there for others just as they are for you. And believe that you can get through anything, because you can. Imagine it could be so much worse. You could always think it could be so much worse. Even if it is really worse, it could be so much worse.
It could always get worse.
Yes, it could always get worse. That's when you sit there and you think it's not going to. So then
finding hope.
Yeah, finding hope.
Try to find the hope in it.
Yes. Hope is a very big thing.
Cling to hope.
Yeah.
Cling to love.
Yeah.
Good points. Be true to yourself.
Yes.
Jesus said, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, which is be the good you want to see in others.
Yes. I know.
Paraphrase. It's good.
I love it. It's perfect.
Well, that is today. We're done today.
Okay.
I appreciate your time.
Wow.
This is my friend Katrina. Appreciate you sitting in listening. And if you gleaned anything from what we were talking about and you need help, reach out. And if you don't know where, take a step and just look for groups that might fit what you're looking for. And we know our technology, we can search for about anything.
Yes, so, I agree.
Stops with you, stops with us.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us at the Stories That Bind Us.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day. God bless you.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to The Stories That Bind Us, the show that honors the weight of being human and reminds us that we're not alone in carrying it. Today's guest was Jim's good friend Katrina. Cinematography was done by Michael Brown. Editing and narration was done by Jim Martin. The Stories That Bind Us was created and hosted by Jim Lee. We'll see you again next week, and until then, take care of yourself.